To discuss this further, I'm joined by the President, ready to lead Africa's Summit for Democracy, Ambassador Godbless Otubore. Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us. Before we proceed with matters arising, protesters already allege that the primary election committee led by Governor Ododo did not follow the party's guidelines. What's your assessment of the primaries?
Thank you for having me. What we have read from our news articles and reports is that we have candidates who participated in the process, Jamal Ibrahim and some of the other guys who are saying that there was no due process that was followed in the conduct of the primaries. I know there was a case of violence in Okitipupa, which led to the suspension of the process. And the current governor of Kogi State did say sometime on Saturday that the current primaries was inconclusive, that it was going to resume again, where they would have elections in the 13 wards in Okitipupa. So there's been a lot of course, there's been a lot of concern and a lot of candidates are saying the process was not followed. There are allegations that election materials were not, in place as at the time some of the, purported voters are supposed to be voting. And that has been some of the issues that we've read and seen. And of course, just earlier, the current governor of Ondo State, who took over from Aiyedatiwa, was declared to have won the primaries with the highest number of votes, according to the APC. But we'll continue to watch it. I know that I've had a few conversations with some of our partners at INEC, and I know that INEC is also trying to make sure that whatever the outcome is something that is legal and acceptable to the electoral process. All
right, the offshoots, the committee. The committee is already being referred to as a ritual after every primary election. This according to the chairman of this current committee. And at the moment, he says they're still collecting petitions. 3 petitions already. Do you expect more? And then secondly, do you expect any substantial recommendation from the committee?
Well, for me, it is becoming a very shameful reality that I look at us and say, are we just talking our way into chaos and not taking action where necessary? We cannot have civil affairs like voting, right? It's just voting. You say, who do you want to be the leader? And people are able to make that decision. If every time Nigerians go to the polls, somebody must cry foul, somebody must say something has not been done well, what does it tell us? It means that we are incapable. That is what we're trying to say, that we are incapable of organizing ourselves. I do expect more complaints, and whether there will be a recommendation from this committee, I do not know. I'm not part of the political party. I'm just, observing what they're doing and also trying to say, we that fought for the Electoral Act to say we need to have whether direct or indirect primaries, it was simply because we wanted the people to get into the process and we want the process to be better and more transparent. But if after, giving our lives, our energy to get in Nigeria a new Electoral Act, yet we cannot conduct a primary election. So this is a pointer to the fact that these guys cannot, play by the rules, even in a general election. And this is not just about maybe the APC, it's even in other parties. So for me, it's a shame that this is coming up every time, that we have to be called back to talk about these issues.
This might be, this is an aside question of what you're saying. Yeah, it's part of democracy, isn't it? For people not to be dissatisfied with the process and request that their matters be addressed. Does the Electoral Act take that away? Because I mean, and does that automatically translate to the fact that we are incapable of conducting elections, really? In 30 seconds, if you can.
Well, for me, it's democracy. People should have the opportunity to vary and say, I do not agree. And the fact that they're doing it legally and they're going through the process is also good. But for those of us who are looking at the standard of elections, elections are not designed for people to create litigation. Election is designed for people to select the leaders. I'm just saying, if this becomes a habit, what it tells you is that we are not getting organizing right. That's what I'm saying. But do they have the right to complain? Absolutely. They are going through the process and talking to the committee, fantastic. But what I'm saying is, I will not accept the good if we can be great. That is the responsibility of leadership.
All right. In one statement, do you expect them to change the primary candidate at the end of the day, no matter what the committee does?
Like I said, I'm not a member of the party. I do not know what is going on there.
Based off your analysis of what has gone on so far.
Well, when you look at the number of votes that Lucky Aiyedatiwa, if I'm pronouncing it very well, that he has been declared to have won with, it is almost irreversible because when you look at the gap with second, it's a mile off. So let's continue to watch. I'll be here with you. We'll continue to see, and I'll be glad to come back and discuss this further.
We'll definitely be circling back to you for your thoughts, whatever happens in the coming days. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you so much.